for your referendum question number 3, should there be a fine associated with divorce? I'm a bit ashamed to admit it, but I remember being young and dreaming about being an adult. What kind of job I would have, marriage, kids, the whole shebang. Me and my best friend always talked about how by our mid to late 20s, we would have it all figured out. Let's take a moment to laugh about that. We were very unserious from then. Life came at us all pretty fast, some faster than others. The dreams and timelines spun from our youth got lost in the day-to-day. And one day, we woke up, started paying for air, got 4 kids and a spouse we tolerate. Not me, though. Y'all be safe. All fun and jokes aside, as we grew into adulthood, there were a lot of things no one could prepare us for. Crashing economies, wars, supercharged natural disasters, a pandemic, and a boiling planet. For whatever reason, it seems we're stuck with the version of the world the generation before us left. And they still have the gall to tell us that we're not doing enough. Sometimes, I feel like we were tricked. Hoodwinked, bamboozled even, because this is definitely not what I thought adulting would look like. Time for episode 3. It's giving unsubscribe. Who starts a show with a side quest? That would be me. Anastasia, Miguel, and Foots give their thoughts on adulting.
Adulting is ghetto. Gratatat.
Adulting is a cliche.
I could cancel the subscription.
Truly.
We need real adults. Where are the real adults? I ain't growing up, but I need to see some people like... Who's supposed to run for prime minister? Like, out of our... Like, who can be the real prime minister from here? Like, vocab? Like, who the f*** we can be calling prime minister? Who can run? Nobody serious, bro. All us playful.
But this subscription is like you have the call and then they can send like a verification code to your phone. And then when they send a verification code to your phone, you have to go back to your email and press unsubscribe. And then you have to go through like a 2-page survey as to why you want to unsubscribe from adulthood. And then when you get to the end of the survey, it's like
why does it sound like you talking about the thing on the website?
And it's just like purgatory.
Bro, we are the jokiest adults in the Caribbean, boy. The Bahamian people, 30 plus, 30 and up. Who's supposed to be the new adults, boy? Like, who gonna run this country? It ain't gonna be me. I ain't growing up. F that shit.
I wanted to be an adult so I could have access to adult money. But then I realized having access to adult money means you have to pay for adult stuff.
Yes.
I don't like
Y'all know what? Can we go off track for like 2 seconds?
Oh, okay.
When did soap and deodorant go so
$9
quick?
for deodorant?
And they so expensive.
Bro, I just taking care of my like I pay my bills, I do what I gotta do, and I like to have money in my pocket and I like to stay clean. But I really ain't here for all like serious stuff like being a politic. Who would do this?
Who knew like rugs and would be so expensive?
Oh my god, I wanted a rug for my room. And apparently like you can't just have like any size rug. Like you have like if you have a queen bed, you need a 9x12 or something like that. I could be wrong. If you have a king bed, you have to have a certain size. And it's just like I just want a rug. Like rugs usually just appear. Like whatever happened to that? Like where's that? Can AI do that? Like what's going on?
I can't see nobody. I look at it on social media. I ain't see one person. Only your boy. I'd vote for your boy. What his name is? The therapist. The bright boy. Harrison. That's the only person I see being an adult. I show you but 40 though.
First comes love, then comes marriage. Well, so they say. But honestly, is marriage the route?
It makes sense, but you have to do it for your own reasons, you know. Some people are fortunate enough to get married for love and for succession planning and for all of the reasons together. Like myself, love you.
I think in this day and age, for marriage, for the non-traditional, I don't believe in marrying for love holistically. I do believe in the aspect of that it needs to make sense overall. Gone are the days of our grandparents who married just because Bob liked us, or just because Sarah had my child. I'm in the day and age of business agreements. I'm in the day and age of like spousal, you know.
So no love at all?
It could be, I'd like love to be second on my list.
I think to each its own with that. I could say how I feel about it and someone could be completely opposed to it.
For what? insanity.
With the kind of person that I with, yeah. Don't all me. Ideally.
I feel like marriage is a beautiful thing. Marriage can work if you have two people that are meant to be together. When you see the red flags, it is not a carnival. It's not a carnival. It's not a festival. It's not a regatta. That means turn your ass around and go back where you was.
I've never been to a
Or
regatta.
walk around it. Something else other than trying to go through it. I feel like sometimes we see things and we ignore things, thinking that, okay, we're gonna work through this. This can change, and then it does not. It gets worse.
It's the route for me.
Personally, don't believe you have to get married. People just have this structure. Well, mainly because of the social construct. They have this idea in their head that, oh, I have to get married. I have to, I have to do this and live a certain way. I feel like you don't have to do it, and a lot of people feel like they have to do it to be successful, and I don't feel like that's necessary at all. No. And then look at what are the marriages here? Because these married men more single than me. So
I guess it depends on where you try to go. Okay, so personally, I would like to get married. Objectively speaking, in the Bahamas, there is, outside of religious reasons, and a person who is raised on a steady diet of romantic comedies, there's no motivation for a person to get married.
I know, I'm a lover.
Yeah, I can't.
And don't get me wrong, I understand, because obviously they tell you, marriage is a business, literally, marriage is a business, you have to go into it, you know what I mean? And I get that, but I still feel like I'm a lover.
No, I like love.
I am love.
And I feel like a lot of people go into marriages for the wrong reason. You know what I mean? And one, I feel like a lot of men marry women for the wrong reason and get into that, based off of pressure and I feel like that's why days be what days be, which is nothing. A bunch of cheating and a bunch of nothing. Misery.
For me, if it happen, it happen. If it don't, it don't.
He lying, he looking.
But I gave my honest answer. I'm not opposed to it.
He won it.
Yeah, if it happens.
Shut the
But if it doesn't, then alright. But I need my seed to walk this earth too.
I feel like if it's something that you want to do, then do it. If it's something that you don't want to do, then don't do it. Nobody can beat you up for that. It's just the way I look at it. I don't think primarily is it the goal in today's society and life. Nope. For a lot of people, it isn't.
Because not okay, the one benefit of getting married in the Bahamas is that you and the person can maybe get a mortgage, but you won't get a nice house. And they can visit you in the hospital. Those are the two benefits. But beyond that, what else is there?
And then I feel like marriage also kind of brings out a different side of people. People kind of put on their best. You put your best foot forward. And once people get comfortable, you kind of see the real them. And sometimes marriage can bring out the best in individuals. Sometimes it brings out the worst in individuals. Sometimes people just ain't meant to be. Sometimes the first marriage was supposed to be a lesson and the second one's supposed to be a blessing. It is what it is. Put God first.
You want the truth? Well, marriage was supposed to, or designed to, procreate. We've done a very good job procreating without marriage. We've done a great job procreating with others in marriage. So, what was the question again? I don't know anymore.
We're brought up and taught that that's what we should do. Get married, have kids, and ultimately the two ain't making sense at this particular time.
I love marriage, to be being honest. I think marriage is a beautiful thing.
Another thing, I wasn't brought up in a mommy daddy situation, but even as an adult, I think it's a great thing. I don't think it's a template that works for everybody, but if you really love it, like anything, if you're really passionate about it, then find what works for you. Take your time and date. Openly date, exclusively date, have a girlfriend. Don't date vehemently, talk to someone for 2 weeks and then y'all do going. Trust me, get to know people because you don't want to get to know them. Even live with people before. I think you should even live with people and see how they live. Make sure compatibility is there. Make sure the love is there. Was there the first 3 months of dating. Make sure that's there at the end of the year. You know, and if you still feel that way about somebody, like life is short. I'd rather marry you before someone else marry you and I wish I did.
I know that from like seeing it from like personal experience, like the people around me and shit like that. People together just to say they're together, but they don't want to be together. So
anything else I could just write in my will. Like if I die, I could leave you my stuff now. Like I don't need that's $75. I could do that. I'd skip the $50,000 wedding. I'm just saying, like, what is the benefit?
But other people get married for other reasons. Some people don't factor love into the equation. Sometimes one set of Conky Joe, marry another set of Conky Joe, and then they get together and they sing Mariah and listen. Y'all can find love later, but what we need you to do is focus on making this money right now. And so it goes. You can't knock people for that. So, I mean, it's the way to go if you know why you want to do it. Not doing something and not knowing why, not just with marriage, but with anything, is probably a stupid idea.
Let everybody do what they doing and how they doing it. As long as they ain't killing nobody, hating nobody. If they ain't want to get married, that's fine. You could keep your cheating man to yourself. Why you trying to push him on me? He barely got money for you. You think he got money for me? No, baby. And then why I turn in the mix? Jesus Lord. Sometimes I just believe people just want you to suffer with them. No, baby, I good. I straight. Being by yourself should also be promoted just as much as marriage is promoted. Because if you can't be by yourself, why you think somebody else won't be with you? That made no sense. That made no sense. Leave me home in my mother's house. I happy.
No shots at the parents because you're doing amazing, sweetie. But the childless would like to know, to baby or not to baby?
If I get married or not, I will need to have a journey to walk this out. Whether I gotta pay some money to do it.
Yo.
Yeah.
I mean,
call it what you want.
I know a place.
It is what it is.
I know a place.
It is. It is.
I know a place.
Babies? Some people haven't do much. What are you talking about? Like some people shouldn't eat, period. Why are we just having babies? I don't like babies. Did I say that earlier? Just say my question.
I have one.
You have one. They're still living.
Yeah, she's still alive.
Yes.
I'm doing a good job to keep her that way. And, boy, I want another one. But the fact that, sometimes you can't find milk in the stores, in the pharmacy. The price of milk is like 4 gallons of gas.
I think about it. Look at the way the world going. The world about to fucking explode and deteriorate. Y'all really think bringing children makes sense? Like bringing children into this world. Y'all really think that makes sense? Like actually think about it. But then I have this thing against children, so I don't really know. I don't know. I'm not an advocate for kids.
People who don't have it making it. Yeah. I guess that's you as the adult to be responsible about it.
I ain't looking at my child to be the next, Denzel Washington or what have you.
But you can make it happen.
I don't say I can make it happen because by angle I things tough.
Yeah, but like I said, you got people who
I can do what I gotta do to make my
child
child life as comfortable as possible.
Yeah.
I talk about this a few times, and more recently I made a video pertaining to this agenda that people don't talk about, and saying agenda make it seem big, but I guess we in agenda culture, so calling it agenda, like pushing kids on young people. Because before it used to be, oh, don't have kids early, wait until you stable and until you're ready. And now it's like from you hit your 20s, your mid-20s, and up is like, so when you have a child,
And then it's like school, daycare, you know, you gotta provide shelter for these children. You also gotta maintain having a job to provide. It's just a lot. I feel like if you don't have like a strong support system or like you ain't strong financially, please stop having children thinking that the state is gonna take care of them. Social services only can do so much. Some of y'all need to stop breeding, okay? When it rain don't mean you need to start juicing. Pray, start praying. How about that? That's God trying to tell y'all to come closer, not get closer underneath the sheet. Get spiritual, not grind each other to grits. Stop that.
I don't like the way that we force it, that we force the kids' marriage whole dynamic on our children. Like everybody is gonna have a different path to life. That's not gonna be suitable or conducive for certain people. Some people may not want that at all, and we have to be okay with that. 8 billion people in the world. I don't understand why y'all want everybody to become a mother for what?
I'm not. Like, I have a list on my phone, reasons why I do not want to have kids, because not only are they just like, there's a lot to do with them, like bringing them into this economy, and then like, how am I supposed to travel with kids? People just do it, right? But then I see my guests come on the boat with their kids, and they just like, like it's almost like it's still like, yeah, I wanna do this thing with my kid, but then it still have that burden aspect to it. You know what I mean?
Why the rush? It don't make sense having a child in this economy if you are not financially stable to take care of that little person. Like, we have people who can barely take care of themselves. You're struggling to pay rent, pay your bills, groceries, gas in your car if you got a car. God forbid you add a fucking broke person into the equation. Who you gotta support and do everything for? That make no sense.
I love kids though. I went 4 off the top.
Wow.
You come around me, you won't bust it. So you better hold your head. Don't come this way. I went 4 kids. I am that daddy. I am their daddy. I am her daddy. I am the daddy.
Yeah, that. Daddy Jew.
Daddy.
I think that a lot of people have bought into a very American Christian, which is a different sect of Christianity from regular Christianity, right? American Christianity, where it's like, oh, you know, this is what God wants. But like in the Bible, Jesus is like, hey, don't cry for me. One day people are gonna be like, yay, I didn't have a baby. That's in the Bible. Jesus said that on his way to the cross. It's like, one day people are gonna be like, yay, I didn't have a baby. So like, who am I? Who am I to go against what Christ said? You can look it up. Put it on the screen. It's fine, go ahead.
With regards to saying, oh, I looking at you to be the future, to take care of me. No, I ain't gonna do that.
No,
If my child just so happens to be talented at sports, acting, academics, good for them. But I ain't looking for them to be like, I training you, I molding you to be the reason why I can retire at this age. No, I ain't doing that.
Yeah, but I don't see a problem not having children in this economy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little tough, but you know, like
you
said,
make it happen. You can make it happen.
People who ain't got it is make it happen. So
We barely have resources for us. Imagine sharing that with a couple more people. That made no sense.
I don't think bringing kids into this economy makes sense. And it's, again, I talking to y'all again who on minimum wage salary with 5 children. Y'all thought about that?
No, ladies, you get the money. You get afford for it by yourself. Like, you ain't gotta do nothing. You ain't gotta work.
I just love kids. I just want to be a father. That's all. I don't know that it's our father. I would not like to leave this earth without being a father.
Somebody get my friend together quick, please.
Yes.
Hurry up. I will come to the baby shower to eat some rock alarm and lobster because I know there ain't gonna be no meatball there. It can be salmon and we can hug their food. Thanks.
Okay, it's time for the elephant in the room. Let's break down our thoughts on the cost of living.
It is too high. As someone who has recently looked at getting a mortgage, at the age of 27, it shouldn't be as expensive as it is to choose to have something for yourself.
When I go to the food store and I spend $100, my trolley should be full. $100 shouldn't look like 7 or 8 items in the trolley. Like, y'all gotta do something with your boy, because the prices is outrageous.
I feel sorry for like the people who living on like minimum wage and because the cost of living is so high. And I just trying to figure out how to make it. And these be the people who have like 10 and 50 children.
Capitalism, right? It's gonna be the end of us, right? That's pretty much it. It's probably at the core, everything that is wrong with this country is making somebody money.
Oh my God. Oh my God. I soon have to sell. That same cat you showed me earlier. Because look, child, let's not talk about
Let's
it.
not talk about
Actually,
it.
let's
I want to talk about it.
Let's not mention it because the cost of living right now, let's just not.
The cost of living here is just extremely too high. Like, we all know the average Bahamian lives paycheck to paycheck. And no matter what you do, everything seems to keep going up except for people's pay, people's salary.
Expensive as hell, god damn.
Too damn high.
Boy, let me tell you something. A 3-piece from KFC should not cost $16.97.
It's way too high, bro. There's no reason, I lied. There's a lot of reasons why the cost of living is so high. I think that there's a few things that could be done to bring it down. If we really get serious and tackle the electricity issue, wink wink, BPL, the burger, but also the company, shameless plug. If we could tackle the electricity issue, that would go a long way.
I don't think I'm in a position to talk because I don't have a problem with the cost of living per se, personally, because I mooch off my mother. I mooch off my parents. Like, I just go to them for everything.
The cost of living is a fallacy because the cost of living increased so that somebody can make more money because they have already decided, I need to make this amount of profit. But profit itself is theft. Why do you need to make profit? Because you own something? Did you work for the thing that you own? Your father gave you a piece of land.
Let's talk about the
I feel like it's a deep, dark, very dark place that we just...
What is the benefit of living? Not the cost. What is the benefit of living?
People be like, if we pay people more, then we'll have to charge more. Well, only because you want to make $50 million profit. If you were happy getting paid a decent amount of money or making a decent profit, let's say you wanted to make $100,000 every year, even though you own 7 giant grocery stores, right? Because, I mean, how much money are you going to spend in your lifetime if you're 80 years old?
Why the things we could grow inside cost so much? Y'all already shortchanging the farmers. Because agriculture don't get the kind of money it's supposed to get. So why are you trying to charge us an arm and a leg when you even pay arm and a leg to get them this to begin with? Y'all running out. Okay? You're running out. And Milo shouldn't be $7, almost $8 a can. Listen to me, y'all don't know how fast my child has run through that. Lower the price!
I cannot, for the life of me, understand how I could go into
Redacted.
Day and see tin pan, a simple bacon tin pan for $2.57. A week later, I go back in
Redacted.
and see that same tin pan for $2.89. Why the increase on the tin pan? What happened for you to increase this?
Y'all have seen them on like Facebook Marketplace. These people be selling like advertising goddamn dungeons for like $1,200 and in what fucking lifetime? And I hope y'all see this. In what goddamn lifetime I paying $1,200 for security bars? The kitchen only but this big. Like the living room but this big, the bedroom and the bathroom that big. Come on, bro. Like, y'all need to get realistic about what y'all doing. Again, it goes back to greed. You can't be greedy when you're really pushing out products, so stop that.
Cost of living high for real though.
Cost of living high.
How much gas is over here right now?
$5.79.
Gas is $6.30 in Eleuthera right now.
If you were doing something like that, right, then the cost of living wouldn't shift because you had to pay your workers more, right? You wouldn't have to raise the price of everything to justify it. You could just pay your workers a living wage. You could pay parking boys, right? You wouldn't have to only hire young women straight out of high school to be cashiers because they're the only ones that, because they can live with their mother. Niggas can't do that, right? I can't make it off of this. I can do this until I leave high school and then I gotta go find a real job.
Plug. Redacted. But let me tell you something. Redacted. You ain't gonna see heaven gates. You ain't gonna see them pearly gates in heaven.
And also, it seems like every time I go to
Redacted.
I buy the same things and the price goes up.
Redacted.
You have to see me in the road.
Also, at this phase in our development, I mean, we've really got to dig in, be sensible about how we use earnings from things like taxes to make life easier for people that don't have massive incomes or any income at all. Get those people working and just start to do things to really increase the cash that people have to afford to live here because it's expensive as shit.
But no, for true, like, the cost of living is ridiculous. I feel like our minimum wage should really be elevated because the people doing bad, and most of the masses, is the ones who are there having these 50,000 children and can't afford them.
If you pay these people a real salary and kept prices the exact same amount, you could still make a profit. It just wouldn't be as big a profit. There's a standard of living that they feel is that they have to achieve, but they only think only them need to achieve that. And they're okay with exploiting people who aren't even living half of their standard. They're okay with exploiting people who have no electricity, no running water, a room that was turned into an efficiency that should house one desperate college student and instead is housing a family of 5 or 7. They're okay with exploiting those people. So it's like, it's all a fallacy.
I don't know how to expect it to survive. Like, seriously. It's ridiculous. And this 2% increase on the job, like, you might as well slap me because that don't make no sense.
But for the average payment, I will say that it's too high. Y'all can't be paying people pennies and then won't be raising prices on eggs and bread and things. Come on, man. Y'all gotta do better than that.
As a man, we gotta put a stop to this. Bread is too high. The price of bread is too high.
Bread.
The price of bread. It can be wheat bread.
Special blend or
it can be wheat
meat?
bread. No white bread. The price of bread is too high. Honestly, like living in the mountains is insane. And I think that's something that we all.
And these salaries too low for this. You always salary by what, $15?
I speak for everybody when I say we basically living from paycheck to paycheck. Everything.
A lot of people are.
Everything is going up besides our salaries.
That's very true.
That's a hard working system.
Redacted.
You have. I don't know who's be doing that, but they bad as like that nigga is a code up. Like for you to be changing prices like that, that's why them niggas always shoot the aisles doing on the prices, That's why they always shoot there. It's never a day where you don't see them pricing.
You ain't able to make it. Like, I feel like it could be like a little transition when you go into heaven. Like, it could be like a trumpet sound, and then it's like a 3-second, it's like a little 3-second walk up to the pearly gate.
Inflation could be fixed, but to fix it, you have to get people who have no problem with taking money from poor people to stop. Or at least pay their fair amount. If you don't want to pay people more money, then just give more taxes and let the government do it for you. So the government can have proper schools and hospitals and pay doctors and police and all these other people and teachers. Anyway, 2 minutes up. The whole point is, evil capitalists.
I feel like things don't have to be the way they are. I feel like the cost of living is the way it is because of like greed.
like that, because it really don't have to be, truthfully and honestly.
And 2, tackle issues like electricity or the housing crisis, because I mean that escapes the media. We have a housing crisis, but you didn't ask me that. So things like that. We need to tackle that. Bring the cost of living down. It's way high. It shouldn't be cheaper to live in London than it is in Nassau.
The minimum wage is not a recommendation. It is a preventative measure to stop people from enslaving behaviors. People like to think of the minimum wage as like, oh, if you were smarter, then you wouldn't have to get the minimum wage. You're not supposed to get the minimum wage. The government put that in place to be like, hey, we noticed that you had people picking oranges for nothing, right? So let's not do that. At the very least, give them $5 an hour. That's what minimum wage is. But people tend to think, oh, no, that's where you don't have to pay somebody a minimum wage. You can pay them a livable wage, but you don't want to.
So the cast held no punches, and I'm trying to avoid a lawsuit, hence all the redacted names. People in this country can get a bit touchy, but I have to echo a lot of the sentiments of my castmates. It's 10 times harder to exist the way our parents and grandparents did at our age. And majority, if not almost all of them, experienced a pre-independent nation. While we love our country, after 51 years of quote-unquote freedom, a lot of what we have to show for it is a depleting middle class, endless red tape for Bahamians trying to own anything in this country, and, well, more line staff jobs. Because, of course, the solution to everything is more jobs from a place of servitude. But honestly, the thing that I look forward to most is that we're up next. It's our turn to make the decisions that determine what the next 50 years look like. So, it's time to ask ourselves, what kind of leaders, parents, and ancestors will we be? Love, the Gapseed Room.